Welcome back to the High School Sports Zone. There's been so many memorable state basketball championships for Greater Houston teams over the decades. None more so than the 2004 state champion Milby Buffs. The story of that team and the historic basketball program is being told in the documentary One Team, One Dream. In the upcoming documentary One Team, One Dream, the rich history of Milby basketball is poignantly depicted with interviews of Milby coaches Boyce Honey and Jim Duffer. In 1973, Honey began his 30-year tenure as the Buffs head coach. 3 years later, he led Milby to the state Final Four.
That 76 team that went to Austin was our cornerstone team. I knew that we were going to be pretty good, but we had no depth, and I didn't know who else was going to be on that team.
But their best players were senior Stephen Sauls, who played at a small school in Oklahoma after he graduated. And then he had a guard named Kenneth Juice Williams. And Juice went on and played at the University of Houston.
That 76 team came up 2 wins shy of a state title. 17 years later, under Coach Honey's guidance, Milby was back in the state Final Four, only to ultimately again experience heartbreak by season's end.
Then we went on and beat Memorial in the playoffs. We beat Elsick and we beat North Shore. And then in the regional finals, we played Beaumont Westbrook. There was a loose ball that Jarvis went after my center, and he went off the end of it. Was at Hoffines, and they have that elevated floor. They have that portable floor at Hoffines, and he went off the end of it and sprained his ankle. And once again, a sprained ankle set us back.
In 2003, Honey retired after 30 years as the Buffs head coach. Longtime assistant and Milby grad Jim Duffer took over the reins of one of the truly great teams in Texas high school basketball history. An amazing 39-0 season capped off by a state championship.
I'm telling you, in the history of Milby High School, and Milby opened its doors in 1926. This was the best team that ever walked in the hallways of Milby High School.
But I wasn't ever coaching just for myself. It was Milby. It was just about Milby.
And joining me now is the producer of the upcoming documentary One Team, One Dream, Kevin Quinney, a starting guard on that state champion team in 2004. Seems like yesterday, right?
Man, so many years ago, though.
Fondest memory from that season, incredible 39-0 state championship run.
The fondest moment was walking out on the court and looking in the stands and seeing so many people. That was the first game I had ever played in front of so many people, and it just caught me by surprise. You know, my heart was beating fast, and I'm looking at my teammates, and they're like, this is a lot of people, man. It's a lot of people. So that was my fondest memory.
Great scene in Austin, right?
Yes, yes.
So you're making this film, One Team, One Dream, and what prompted you to get into this project?
So I've always wanted to do a documentary, and I was so indecisive of what topic it should be. And one day I was just talking about all the history of Milby and the great players and all the runs we had, and my wife was like, hey, that's the perfect topic. What are you waiting on? So she kind of gave me that push in the back to go ahead and do it on Milby.
Well, we saw a bit of that trailer, and it looks really compelling. Very compelling interviews with the coaches, especially Coach Boyce Honey, who ran that program, as we talked about, for 30 years. And he is kind of Mr. Milby.
Yes. So Coach Honey has always talked about Milby. It wasn't just, him winning, having a great record. It was always about Milby, the community, making great students, sending them off to college. He always cared about the community. So this is kind of like our thank you to Coach Honey and everything he put towards the community and the school.
And there was some heartbreak in there because he so desperately wanted a state championship, and he had some great teams. And as fate would have it, they get the state title. You guys get the state title the year after he retires.
And that's the kind of twist in the story. He kind of built our team, and constructed every player to what we were by the time we reached our senior year. So even though he wasn't our head coach, us winning the state title, it was just like, that's my team down there winning the state title. And all the head coach and assistant coaches also played for Coach Honey, so we were all one big family. So.
Yeah, the head coach, Jim Duffer, a big part of the documentary, who just retired from Milby last year.
Yes.
And he was like another Mr. Milby because he went to high school there as well.
Yes, so Coach Duffer, man, great coach. He actually gave me the opportunity to be the starting two guard, which I thank him for. And he learned so much under Guy Lewis at the U of H, Phi Slama Jama, and then also under Coach Honey so many years. So he gained all that experience and was able to win state his first year.
Yeah, I'll never forget that season as well. What a fun year covering you guys. You win the national tournament here in Houston. So you beat everybody that year.
Yes. So the Academy Nationals, we weren't even in the national division at first. We were on the Texas side, and they had a team to drop out on the national division side, which allowed us to actually play on the national side. They filled us in, and we were able to play Hightower the first game, and they were ranked number 2 in Texas, and we were number 1. So they gave us the opportunity to show who was the better team.
Yeah, and you had those national teams. They had players from all over the country, prep schools. Here's you got Southeast Houston, Milby neighborhood, and you put it to them.
So a lot of people counted us out very early, even though we were undefeated. So we knew we were good, but we didn't know we were good enough to win the national division. So once we got to the championship game on the national division side, it's like, okay, guys, we might be pretty good, and we actually won the national division side, beating Fairfax, blowout victory, and that's when we realized we might be good. We might be good.
And I'm looking forward to a really good documentary coming out hopefully by the end of the year.
Yes, sir. Our goal is to have it done and completed by the end of this year, December, and ship it off to a few film festivals.
All right, I look forward to seeing that. It's great to relive those moments.
Yes.
Kevin Quinney, starting guard, 2004 state champion Milby Buffs, film producer.
Yes, sir, and director.
We'll be back with a lot more and talk about the 2017 state champion Cy Falls Golden Eagles with Jim Hicks of RCS Sports right after this.